My personal educational philosophy is as follows. My purpose or role as a teacher is to provide a safe and engaging place for all my students. I will remember there are multiple intelligences, many personalities, different strengths and weaknesses and backgrounds. My objective is to help all my students have agency in their own learning. The process I use, I collaborate with peers, specialists, parents, and students because I want my process to be as proactive as possible because I want others to help me check my bias as well as give me new ideas. By being proactive, adaptive, explicit, and reflective, I hope to spend most of my time with my students in that space Vygotsky calls the zone of proximal development. Here I can provide scaffolding to help bridge the gap from old to new knowledge. I will also teach explicitly with repetition and timely feedback. This is because even though I may often use small group work groups, table groups, as Estes and Mintz in instruction and models approach, right? Students still need to be taught how to work collaboratively. The nature of philosophies and theories of education is the base from which we teach. As McLeod points out, constructivism states meaning is constructed by integrating new learning experiences with pre-knowledge. Letting students construct their own meaning actively with peers not only mimics the way we learn outside of school, but it is also more interesting to the students. The ideal or standard I aim for is to kindly and honestly teach to the best of my abilities to all the students, to the whole student, and with high expectations for everybody involved. Together, the whole community can create wonderful learners. Tying that, my educational philosophy to the checklist in the handbook, I hit all the acronyms. So leadership, social responsibility for ethnic change. It's always been my family's DNA. We were activists. We've always been inclusive, and that means we can engage everybody. The application of theory to practice is one of the main things I do differently. And in terms of dedication, I always look for best practices. In terms of the handbook, including all my students, I use enthusiasm, creativity, authenticity, and a passion for teaching. This helps with engagement, which includes all the students. I've always believed in accountability for all stakeholders in terms of responsive and transparent communication, which leads to teamwork, which adds a lot of synergy to what we're trying to do with educating kids. My personal philosophy education hasn't changed much over the course of the program because with coaching soccer, I was always using modern best practices that were very similar to teaching best practices. I like letting kids construct their own activities to practice certain skills instead of just telling them what to do. According to Reeves, and where great teaching begins, student-centered learning creates more engagement, which I fall back on a lot. We've got to get them engaged. What has changed? I've been given many methods and theories to choose from. So I've done modern practices, but I've gone deeper with this program into the theories and why they work and how to work them. For example, Wiggins describes the importance of alignment, of learning objectives, assessments, and instruction and understanding by design in terms of backward planning. Or also how Hammond addresses cognitive processes of the brain to better understand our students' in culturally responsive teaching. I can now confidently reach into my toolbox for a much wider array of educational tools than before. And I love teaching, and I'm really looking forward to it.